Hello everyone, my name is Dorian and welcome to Suzuka. We are with the Lamborghini GT3. We're using the fixed setup, brake bias is at 55. I'm just going to show you guys a lap real quick and then we're going to take it corner by corner. Good luck if you're trying to do the 10 hours this week. I might do it, I'm not sure. We'll see how that goes. If you enjoyed, leave a like, and if you want to see more, then subscribe to the channel. If you really want to support the channel, consider becoming a member as well. See you guys on the track. Coming up to turn number 1, looking for a braking point. It's going to be past this patch of dirt before the access route. So anywhere between them is a good spot. You start braking, squeeze it to around 50% as you turn in the car. The turn-in point is actually the access route. So you want to start to turn in slightly before it maybe, or right at it. And you want to find that first apex, already downshifting into 5th. And as I reach the apex into 4th, you can see me just trail braking for a super long time here. Staying on the brakes for the duration of this corner. And now into 3rd as I'm letting the car wash out to the outside, putting the left side of the car on the red and white curb, and trying to find a late apex here. Still trail braking until I can go back to the power right at this point. This is where I find the camber. The car's going to sink in here, and that's going to give me a ton of grip, and I can be very aggressive on the exit. Let the car run wide. You can use the AstroTurf on the way out, not a problem, and you're through. Let the car go to the right. And right around here, at the beginning of this tire wall, I think it's a tire wall, you're going to start to turn in. Just lift. You don't need to brake. I like to turn in 4th, and only after this first corner, downshift into 3rd. It just helps me carry a little bit more momentum into the S's. So you can see me modulating the throttles. As I need stability, I accelerate. As I need rotation, I decelerate. I lift off the throttle. That's sort of what I do here to kind of steer with it. On the curb, always good amount of power on the curb. That's going to stabilize the car. Hitting the brakes here, and I'm going to downshift into 3rd. Trying to find this apex. Hug the white line. Don't want to clip the red and white curb too much. I did, but it's not a big deal. Just want to be gentle with it. Back on the power, let the car go to around center track. Don't wash out to the outside. You want to open up this corner as much as possible. And lifting, you can see a lot of modulation here. So I was lifting to around, I don't know, 40%, and then accelerating back in again to around 90%. Then I'm going to lift again because I need more rotation. I don't want to understeer too much here. And I'm going to clip this inside curb. You can even clip the green stuff. You don't have to, though. You can live without it. You don't have to find it every time, but the red and white curb is kind of crucial. And I can actually allow myself to wash out to the outside here, which will be the inside for the next corner. because my method here is to take it as a double apex. So still in third, mind you, no more downshifting or upshifting. Just now, starting to trailer brake for a pretty long time. You can see I'm just peaking the brakes to around 30%, then initiating some trail braking. And then I'm going to release the trail brake, let the car wash out a little bit to the just a tiny bit, just to open up the second apex just a little bit more. I don't want to let the car wash out any more than that. There's no grip on the outside here. Don't try to overtake on the outside here, unless, I don't know, you're an absolute god or the guy in front of you is incredibly slow. But, you know, don't do it. There's no grip there. It's very difficult. Going back to the power, squeezing it and finding this second apex nicely. You want to stay as close and as tight as possible to the inside here, because that will open up the next corner, which is, you know, incredibly important. If you wash out here, you're going to lose over half a second, I reckon, just by not opening up this corner nicely. Going all the way to the white line, you really want to try to maximize your track here. And I'm going to lift, big lift to around 30%, and then slowly squeeze, just turn in the wheel, chuck the car in, and slowly squeeze the throttle back in again to 100%, just to make sure I can find the apex. I'm not on any particular rush. This apex, this white line is more important to me than anything. As long as I can find it, I know I'm good. And you can short shift up into fourth just a little bit. It's not a big deal. It's not going to cost you much time. Now I'm just going to take the car to the inside here. Take a nice short route that can actually give you some time. And well before the 50, right around here, I would say, is where I'm going to start braking for the Degners. So around 50% peak. Staying in fifth gear on the braking and turning in. And a very late downshift just now into fourth gear. You don't want to downshift too early. Kind of snap the rear end, make the car, you know, not very happy, or too tail happy, in fact. Clip the inside curb, not too much. Don't want to put two wheels in the air there. Just clip it a little bit. Take a nice clean line here, and go back to the power as the car lands to stabilize it, because we're gonna go over this AstroTurf here and this curb, and that's gonna upset the car a little bit. So the power really helps with stabilizing it. I'm not trying to gain much speed here, just trying to keep a nice stable car. And yeah, so we have the AstroTurf here. You want to start braking with your left wheels on this red and white curb, or maybe on this trash, this part, the dark green stuff. The bright green stuff, you don't want to do that. You're gonna end up spinning the car if you try to brake there. You see, there's a bunch of dirt here, and if you clip that when you're braking, you're done. It's game over. Peaking at around 70%, downshifting all the way into second. I want to find this apex early, and as I find it, you can see all this camber here. I'm going to be able to accelerate very early as well, and pretty aggressively. All the way down, all the way up to 100%. Let it wash out. Use the AstroTurf on the way out. You can use that. And you're through. Now into the hairpin. So I want to turn in relatively late here, because I don't use a visual marker for the braking for the hairpin. It's a physical marker. So you can use the end of this curb, or when the white line straightens out for your braking. That's a pretty decent marker, but if you're trailing someone, it's gonna be difficult to find. But what I do is, as soon as I open up the wheel, you can see the wheel is opening up. As soon as it opens up, I'm going to start braking. And that's going to be easier for you to remember. I think it's easier to be consistent this way. So keep that in mind. And we're going to brake very hard, around 70%. Downshift into second, now into second. And I'm going to stay in second for a little while longer. Try to delay the downshift into first gear. This is the first gear corner. But if you try to downshift too early into first, it can snap the rear end. It will do all kinds of unpleasant things to the car, and you won't be able to put much power down on exit. So now into first, trail braking for a very long time. You don't have to find the inside line here. A lot of people think it's crucial that they find the inside line here. You can actually take it sort of from the middle. There's tons of camber and rubber here. I'm not putting my left side of the car on the red and white curb at all. Only towards the end is where I'm getting close to it. You can see I'm starting to accelerate back out again. This is first gear, so as smooth as you can. Don't snap the rear end here at all, because there's a huge straight, and that's going to cost you a lot of time. Squeezing the throttle all the way to the outside as I open up the wheel, and you're through. Now, this entire right-hander, I'm just trying to stay on the right for as much as possible. I'm not fighting the car too much, just trying to be as consistently to the right as I can. That's going to give me some time. And right before the access route is when I'm going to start braking for spoon. Around 60-70% peak into 4th gear and trail braking on the first apex. Now back on the power, let the car run wide a little bit, and then braking again. There's no real visual marker. The sort of sequence you need to develop well before the end of this curb is when you start braking again. But the second brake phase is very, very minute. It's very soft. I'm not braking hard at all. See me barely trail braking or not trail braking at all. I'm just rolling the car into the corner. Kind of killed the speed. I lost about a 10th here, but it's worth it, I think, just to be safe on this corner. Then slowly squeezing the throttle back out again. You can see I'm going to around 80%, waiting on it a little bit, flipping this inside curb, and back to 100%. Let the car run wide, it's fine. Just don't overdo it. Don't go across the darker green stuff here. Now take the car to the left, take a nice short route, and we'll set ourselves up nicely for 1000 R. And we're going to start to turn in right before the 50 here. You're just looking, you got to remember, you're going pretty quickly. You're going 250-ish kmh or kph. And we want to look as far ahead as possible. That will help us plan this corner quite well. I'm going to lift pretty late. And I'm going to clip this inside curb. You can actually clip the grass just a little bit, and it's fine. I'm not going to... It's not a big lift. I want to maintain stability here. So I'm going to go down to around 40% and immediately start accelerating back out again. Let the car run wide. Using the outside curb, it's fine. Just don't overdo it. And line ourselves up for the next corner. Now, well before the 100. So I would say if we got... This is what, the 150? Yeah, this is the 150. Let's call it the 140, 130, 125 area. You know, it depends on how you brake, how much fuel you got and everything. But this is pretty much the area where you want to brake. Peaking very high to around 90% highest peak on this track. Downshifting pretty quickly into second. I'm gonna... It's very important, first of all, to stay on the left for as long as possible. You want to open up this next chicane as much as you can, because that will help you on the second apex. So downshifting to second, flipping this inside curb, just go on the red stuff. Maybe a little bit of the green stuff is still fine. And back on the power to stabilize the car. It won't upset itself on the curb. Almost back to 100%, and then lifting again. This corner is nice and open now. Here, I don't really want to go on the green stuff at all. I just want to go on the red stuff. And I'm accelerating on the curb again just to stabilize the car. Put some weight on the rear. Back to 100%. And use the outside curb here. And just hug it the whole way through. Stay tight on the right here, especially if you're qualifying. That's going to give me some speed. And that's going to give us a 157.927. Hope you guys enjoyed this track guide. If you did, leave a like. If you want to see more, then subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments what you think. And if you'd like to support the channel, consider becoming a member as well. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.